Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matussant Como. This is the channel where we talk about fragrances and arts. Stay tuned until the end of this video for me to tell you about a giveaway. So as I have been, if you've been following me, you would know that this is the month of my birthday and I am celebrating by giving giveaway in every video that I make this month, and I plan to make a number of those videos this month in celebration. So on weekend, this is a beautiful weekend and I have a gift for you. So I am going to tell you all about what to do to get this gift. I am very excited today because as a YouTuber, I would be remiss not to have a Valentine's special. So we are all talking about our romantic fragrances, our sexy fragrances. So I have decided to talk about fragrances that think like a man but behave like a woman. So we're going to get into those guys' heads and dissect the type of fragrances they love on women. And clearly this is a bit of a game because some men don't even want any perfumes at all on a woman, and some of them may like something completely exotic that's not here. But those fragrances that I'm going to talk about here are the result of a little bit of investigations that I've done. So I've gone to all type of videos on perfumes and so forth, and look at videos that are blind test and where they ask guys from all over the world what type of fragrances that they love. And these fragrances, you know, I've looked into my collection to see and then found those fragrances that those guys rate the highest. So we really have 4 classes of fragrances, and so I'm going to present 3 fragrances in each of those classes. So the first class of fragrances that seems to get into the head of men is fragrances that we would call flower, just flower, carnal flowers, just attractive, forbidden flowers. And I have, the first one is Delina La Rosée. This is this sparkly, beautiful, floral fragrance that is this beautiful Turkish rose, which is centered around the beautiful Turkish rose, which is the most precious rose in perfumery. And it produces a fragrance that is really spice honeyed and just really somewhat green. So it's not like your old type of vintage rose. It's a very dewy, beautiful rose, and it begins so fresh and soft. And then of course it rests on the Haitian vetiver that makes it really smooth and mature and confident and beautiful. And this is a perfect example of the type of fragrances that men are just going to love on women. It's very new. It hasn't been tested, but clearly it has all the elements that men love on women, because rose is the flower of love. It conjures up emotion in men, but clearly we have to be careful. We don't want a rose that sort of going to remind them of perhaps a stepmom that they would rather not be reminded of. So this is a modern, upbeat, dewy, sexy, beautiful rose, and that's Delina. The second one is as if it's Boudoir by Vivienne Westwood, and boudoir means essentially a room where women used to sort of go and entertain perhaps their lovers. And this fragrance was a quest to just like a rampage at sexuality, at femininity, and it has all the ingredients that are known, you know, either scientifically or just basically known to just be very attractive to men. So it has, of course, the jasmine, it has the rose, it has the tuberose that at some point tuberose wasn't even allowed on women to go to church in Europe. Some centuries ago, it felt it was just too, it would just attract even the saints or something in the church. So it has so many ingredients, it's not even funny. It is designed to attract men. There is just no question about it. That's Vivienne Westwood Boudoir. And then we have this rose that is the sexy rose par excellence. This has 400 roses in just this one bottle. So this rose, the trick in it, it is so expensive, it is so enigmatic, it is so sensual, it is so complicated and so complex, but at the same time so beautiful, that it's really intriguing to men. So men are just totally going to love this fragrance on us women. And they've said that over and over again. It's actually one of the best fragrances in the century, quite frankly. It's going to be always a classic. Portrait of a Lady by Dominique Ropion. The next set of fragrances that men just love on women, it's gourmand. Yummy yumminess. And one example of such fragrance par excellence is Angel Muse. So it has this yummy hazelnut. You just want to just eat someone alive with this fragrance. That's all I can say. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not even going to wear this because someone is going to think I'm just trying to disrupt them. So yes, that's Angel Muse. And then we have Nuit de Noho, which is an urban, upbeat, beautiful fragrance. That's again an incredible gourmand with vanilla, patchouli, and jasmine. It's just very yummy, creamy, sophisticated in the form of unattainable, urban, beautiful fragrance, but yet it's yummy and attractive. So Nuit de Noho by Bon Number 9. And our next example, or third, of yummy gourmand fragrance is Jean Paul Gaultier. Clearly the bottle itself conjures of all that is about sexy, woman. So this has this chantilly cream that just makes it so completely warm and spicy. Yet again, because it has some citruses in it, it's also fresh. So it's not just sticky, sticky type of, sugar. It's just the citrus to it create this juxtaposition of freshness and sweetness. And it's just like a beautiful example of a gourmand fragrance that men just love on women. And I've just seen so many videos where men would just rate this very top when they do blind tests in terms of what they like on women. So that's an example of gourmand fragrance. The third example of fragrances that men are just going to love on you, ladies, and that you want to wear this Valentine weekend, those are fragrances that say, let's call them foodie, sweetie fragrances. So we have Tom Ford, Lost Cherry. So this is this bitter cherry, almond, liqueur. It's just sweet, sexy, all the way. There is nothing else to say about Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. And then we have this little one right here. That's Rihanna's Rebelle Fleur. And this is hibiscus, this is noix de coco. So it essentially takes you places. It takes you to a beautiful tropical evening where you're dancing under the stars. It's just a fun fragrance. It's a beautiful foodie fragrance, and it's based on musk, which makes it extremely sexy and beautiful. And it's very interesting because I've seen tests, blind tests, where men would have zillions of fragrances, and this little one right here would just come out on top by, you know, older men, younger men, and just... So I purchased this solely on that, just to see what this was about, and I can see that. It's a simple fragrance, but it's sumptuous. And men just love basically simplicity and beauty at the same time. They love uncomplicated, you know, situation, but that's at the same time very sumptuous, very gracious, very elegant. And I think this fragrance right here brings all this in its scent, with this incredible tropical cocktail that's rests on this beautiful musk of a fragrance. And another example of a beautiful flower, and this one is totally an evening flower. It's La Nuit Trésor, and this is the Eau de Toilette Caresse. So it's like a lighter version of the Trésor La Nuit. And again, this is just another beautiful example. This is another beautiful example of a fragrance. So La Nuit Trésor begins again fresh with bergamot and lychee and raspberry and pink pepper, which are very sexy scent. And then you have the damask rose, which makes it very sophisticated. And it has the almond and jasmine. The almond makes it tart. Let me remove this. And it has the white musk, the tonka bean, the patchouli, Tahitian vanilla. It's just a beautiful fragrance that men have revealed a strong preference for it on women. Last but not least, we have our lady sophisticated but sensual fragrances. It's true that men like to feel perhaps providers and so forth, but at the end of the day, they are showing that they like a woman that's very, I would say, have a je ne sais quoi confidence in their attractiveness, and who is in touch with herself, and who is at the same time very warm and very sensual. And it's kind of interesting because men would, and those fragrances are coming from very well-known line, and you would have tests where you have all type of fragrances in those lines, and men would pick those one and describe them as being very soft, sensual, and sophisticated, and they just love that. And so that's by Kilian, and that's Woman in Gold. And it's just a very, this fragrance is after a painting by the same name, Woman in Gold, and by it's by Gustav Klemps, and it's the portrait of Adele Blanche-Bauer. And it's a very complex and glamorous work of an artwork, but the note of it just conjure up so much elegance. You know, it's an interplay of light and complexity and beauty and sophistication. So you get all this in Woman in Gold by Kilian. And then the Darcy and fragrance, it's the same house that you have Delina, but men describe Darcy as, you know, conjuring up a woman that's very sophisticated yet sensual and beautiful. And I agree with it because I've worn this fragrance and I've gotten comment and compliment to that effect. They think it's just a beautiful fragrance that again began fresh. So it has these juxtapositions of freshness, and then it is based on warmth, patchouli, and white musk. So once you take it seems to be a formula that just create a very sophisticated and confident and classy woman that's very attractive to men and approachable, even if she is self-confident. It's Darcy from Parfum de Marly. Last but not least, we have Miss Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. This fragrance essentially try to capture the spirit of Coco Chanel, when, you know, and we know she is feisty, she is creative, she is bold, she is confident, and this fragrance, and she is classy. In this fragrance, it's all that. It does something to men. Men love this fragrance, and that's my last but not least of fragrances that think like men but behave like a woman, and that men just show over and over again that they just love on women. Here are the rules for the giveaway. As you know, this whole month I'm celebrating my birthday, and in each video I am thanking you for having been taking the journey in YouTube with me so far and giving me your time, and as subscribers or non-subscribers, but I appreciate your time. So this is Falling in Love by Philosophy, so that's the giveaway in this video. And the rules are, essentially you have to try to guess the day of my birthday, and just put a note on that. Tell me what your guess is and that you are interested in the giveaway. And if you win, I will just contact you, get in touch with you in Instagram, all this information. If you want to contact me in Instagram too with this information, it's great. My information on Instagram it's mod_como, and that's in the description box. And you would just win this beautiful Valentine giveaway, which is Falling in Love by Philosophy. So good luck with this. And so thanks guys for watching, and please, if you like the content, like the video. I would really appreciate that. That would help my YouTube platform grow. And I also look forward to your comments and to your participation in the giveaway. And again, happy Valentine weekend. Until next time, cheers. Bye.